Hello everybody. So here we are at the end of our hyper-realistic eye. Obviously it needs a lot of practice. I need a lot of practice. It's not 100% perfect as I would have liked it, but we are getting there, and the fact of the matter is that practice does make perfect. So if I look at this and I crit it, the one thing that we could go is a lot darker. If I look at our reference photo, we can go a lot darker here across the top of the eye where the eyelashes are, and slightly darker in our iris area as well to try and make it pop. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to take the 9B. I'm going to go to the sort of radical end of the degrees that I have, which is a 9B. In fact, no, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the black pencils. So I have a 4, I have a 2, 4 and a 6B here. And I'm going to use the 6B and darken this. And already you can see that there's a result here happening. And it is definitely darkening and looking a bit better. Now remember that when we do this, if we darken one area, we're going to start seeing other areas, and we're going to start seeing that some of our tonal values need to either be increased or decreased. And this is not a bad thing. This is exactly what graphite drawing is all about. And it's definitely part of the learning process. So we will definitely benefit from this exercise. It's not that we've wasted what we've done before. It really is an amazing process, I find, graphite. And remember that we need to make these eyelashes to get that organic look. We need to kind of randomly and quickly put these in, because otherwise it won't look organic. It will look like we've deliberately sort of drawn them in. We're trying to get away from that. We're trying to get that sort of realistic look. So we need to be quick, and we need to get them in as fast as we ever possibly can. So immediately this is starting to lift. Immediately we can see that this is making a really nice difference to our eye. A very, very nice one indeed. However, we're going to now have to go in and darken everywhere else, and that includes the eyebrow. So I'm just going to go in and I'm going to add some darker hairs to this. I'm going to try not to go over the areas that I've lifted. But also try to maintain that organic feel. And you can see that I am turning my pencil as I'm going. Turn it every, I don't know how many hairs I'm doing, because I'm trying to do this as quickly as I can. I suppose every 5 or 6, I would imagine I'm turning it. And that's purely so that I use that point that I've created from the 5 or 6 previous hairs that I've laid down. We just keep on going over it until we get that effect that we are looking for, which is that dark brow. And you can do this, you know, to whatever degree you want to do it to. And when I say that, what I mean is the depth, but just remember, the darker you go, you're going to start seeing that you need to be putting in a darker, richer tonal value in other areas as well. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, as I say many a time, and probably repeating myself to ad nauseum, this is what graphite drawing is all about. So you can see I've gone a bit wild here across the top, but that's fine. We can fix it because we need to put in some more of these brow. Here's this area here. I'm over here, and I'm actually going to blend it a little bit just to get rid of that I need to fill in that sort of area there. The one thing about these black pencils, these Staedtler, is that they don't reflect the light because of the black that is in them. They're marvelous. They really are. I'm just going to put in a few here. I just want to get these in. There's some nice sort of thick. Let's put in a few stragglers along the way here, which we can see. And I want to put in a few stragglers along here. This you can really press down and go darker with. So it's literally press down and lift. Press down and lift as quickly as you can. Turn the pencil as you go. I think you can see that that's what I'm doing. And then I'm actually going to sharpen this pencil because it has gone quite blunt. You can see how blunt it is here. And I want to put in a few of those bottom lashes before we start adding to the iris. And these we need very, very thin, sort of almost quite precise. Very, very nice. I love these pencils. They really do deliver. They're absolutely magnificent. There we go. I think that will be enough for the moment. We can always go back in and add to that. There we go. Right. Let's go in and start darkening and deepening this eye area. There we go. Let's go down and do this very, very thin line here. The bottom. Just try and keep your hand as accurate as possible and just gently go over it. And go over this area here, the bottom. And up into the side of the iris. The edge of the iris. Let's go around and take it up into those eyelashes. You can see that this is very, very dark around here. We're going to take that across there and fill that all in, and then we're going to fill in our beautiful iris. Try and do little round strokes. Remember that we have this grey area here in the reflection, so let's just try and get that in, and we have the same thing on the bottom. So there we go there. Let's deepen these ever so slightly. Just do it lightly, just do the iris itself lightly, because you don't want to go in too much with this sort of pencil and then you can't lift it out again. So you just want to make quite sure that you are very, very controlled, and that you're able to lift out whatever it is that you've put in that you don't like afterwards. Here we can see that there's quite a bit of detail across here, so we can put that in. It looks like eyelashes. Actual shadows from the eyelashes in there. This goes down towards the iris. We'll put that in. We've got a very, very slight detail resonating out from the actual iris itself. So we're going to put that in. And also from the top of the, from where the eyelashes are down, we can put that in. I'm going to deepen this ever so slightly around the edge here, but just around the edge, because obviously we've now done the other side of it. And I want to make quite sure that all of our tonal values now work with each other. I've got a couple of lines that come out, that radiate out from the iris on this side. I just want to put those in. It comes down into that. Just want to deepen around this reflection ever so slightly, just so that it resembles a reflection. We can blend that out, and I just want to do it across the top here as well, so that it actually resembles that reflection that we put in. Now, if I look at this, there is a very, very long lash that comes down into there, and we're going to put that in. So we're going to do it quickly. We're going to go like that. So mine has gone a bit further, but that's fine. I'm not going to get too upset about it. I'm going to get my blender, and I'm going to get my Tombow. I'm just going to take that out ever so carefully, so you can lift it out. Doesn't matter that you've put it in. Ever so carefully take it out and blend. Oh, my apologies. And blend with your blender back in there again. Just to soften where I have put in too much of that eyelash. So here you can see I'm going in against the side of the reflection, just to make absolutely sure that that does resemble a reflection. Just blending that out and making sure that I have that grey area. We also have this that comes into the reflection from the top. I'll blend those out. Blend across the top here. Very, very carefully blend in at the bottom here. You don't want to lose that light below and in the actual eyeball itself. I must be honest, I want to get this a little bit darker just so that it really stands out. There we go. Now we're going to go across here. Do it very, very carefully, because that is definitely, that line definitely goes all the way across to this edge here. So now you can see that because we've gone in that side, and this pencil is now a little bit too sharp in my opinion to be able to be doing this on this side, but we do need to lay some dark down here, just so that the tonal value matches what we've done everywhere else. There we go. Now what I want to do is, because it looks like there's more eyelashes here than what I've actually put in, so I want to get that in. There we go. And just want to do a few more of these radiating out. I just want to get this darker. This bottom part needs to be darker of the iris. And you can see that I'm almost getting to the end of what this paper will allow me to put on it. Just get some of these details in this iris. And I'm going to blend this down because that is not 100% a highlight there. We want to make sure that we get that in. There we go. It's looking a lot better as soon as you start laying down that really dark, rich black. Pulls the whole eye together. Do this slowly. Don't rush it. And as I said, practice. I mean, there's no reason why you can't do this over again. I'm going to take my blender and I'm going to blend this in, as I said, on the top here. Blend it in a bit at the bottom. You can always take those white highlights out afterwards. This photograph, they've cut off the top part of the eyebrow, so I'm assuming that it's sort of quite a bit thicker across the top here. I'm just going to take the graphite out and soften those a little bit, and soften here and soften on this side. Soften this a little. I think there we have it. I think that looks pretty good. Get this a bit darker at the top here. Make sure that we know that that is a reflection, because that is really important. I'm just going to take this out at the bottom here again because I've lost that. There we go. Take out a few of these streaks of the light. So light at the top, and then we have this light on the actual eyeball itself. Okay, there we go, everybody. I think that this is a nice start to hyper-realistic drawing. Can't say I'm mad about this these eyebrows at the top here, but I don't want to get too involved in these because the eyeball is the actual focus. But I also don't want this to detract from that eyeball. So let me just fix this a little bit better. And we can take some of this out. I just want to clean that. Take some of these out across here. Because you do see light in eyebrows as well. Light reflection. I'm going to take that out across the top here. We are seeing some light reflection in the top as well. Right, I think that is it. I think that is it. I think that's a pretty good first attempt. And as you can see, I'm now going a bit crazy and adding probably what I should not be adding. But it's nice to experiment and see what the outcome is. I like this eyelash that is sitting in the middle of the eyelid itself, which we all have. And there we are. We can just soften the end of that one so that doesn't stick out as much as it is. See, now I'm fiddling, but this is what happens. The more you get into a photograph, the more you see. And every single artist will tell you this. And there's a lot more detail here that we could put in. So it's going to go between here because I quite like that contrast. Sorry, I think I'm mumbling. Get that softened. And now I'm going to stop fiddling. There we go. I think that this is a pretty good start, as I said, to hyperrealism. And if you have followed along, I'm so pleased that you have. It'd be so nice to see your work. My Instagram link is in my YouTube bio. I would love to see your work and what you think and how you feel about what you have accomplished, because this was a really fun and fabulous exercise to do. There we go, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you like this video and you've enjoyed it, please give it a like and please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. It really does help me to keep going, and it really does help me to see the number of people that are enjoying what I'm giving in terms of lessons, tutorials, and it really does help me to continue. Have an absolutely awesome weekend, everybody. Bye then.